follow the river, where do I go? Follow the gulls. Where is the something? Where is the someone that tells me why I live and die?
Hey everybody, welcome back. Psychic Eric here. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. The last couple weeks have been pretty busy for me, to say the least. You know, the bar opened back up that I DJ at, so we were able to do that and had open mic night, as you guys may have witnessed with my devil horns in the screenshot. No, we were just having fun, but yeah, over an hour long worth of footage, so that was my last video. Check it out if you're interested. We just had a great night of jamming, couldn't have went any smoother, and the DJ set as well. It was nice to bring that back, and brought my college buddy down. He had never performed there or anything. I brought him down one weekend he was over, but you know, he lives in Omaha, so it's kind of hard to get him down here sometimes, but it couldn't have went any smoother. I mean, it was just a really nice evening. You know, it's too bad the house band wasn't there, but at the same time it was kind of nice because we had open range where you could perform all night long. And yeah, some people kind of got rowdy in the background there. I think we had like a pool league there, but I think they had concluded at that point, but then they just kind of maybe had too much to drink. I don't know, but it was otherwise a very good session of just kind of free improvising, you know. We had some, you know, kind of key elements in mind of what we wanted to play. So I got a few records to share with you today. I got one online, and then the three that I meant to share last time. Just, you know, kind of want to keep these videos around the 20-minute mark roughly. And I think I forgot to show a single as well from a while back, like the beginning of January, so I'm gonna share that one as well. But so nothing crazy in this collection. But then also I watched Vinyl Richie's latest video where he shares his favorite top 25 films from the 70s. Don't know why I never did such a thing, but I was like, hey, that's a cool idea. Now, some of my favorite films from that era, of course, might be out of print or hard to come by. You know, Criterion Collection Blu-rays alone cost 40 bucks, so I don't feel like blowing that much on a single disc, but I do have a few favorites in the collection. And I kind of curated somewhat of a list on my phone, on my notepad, and thought maybe I could do that. Maybe that'll be my next video, we'll see. But yeah, without further ado, let's jump into these, because I know you guys are waiting. But I picked this one up online, well, on Instagram actually, from the Record Shack. He was having a sale, I think it was on a weekend or something for a few days, and got this on a fairly good discount, even though it's not going for too much. I just wanted to give him some business because I saw he had listed this, and this is Chico Magnetic Band, self-titled. This came out in '71 originally, and I think this reissue just came out maybe last year. It says 2020 on the back, but I think Discogs has it listed as like 2022 or 23. Anyways, it's pretty recent, and you can still pick these up fairly well. It's pressed out of Australia, of all places. And just look at that goofy album art. I forget kind of what the backstory is with this fella. I think he was added on later on to the band, but originated out of France. They had like a couple singles, I think, and then some of these sessions were done in 2 different studios, but you can't even tell. I mean, the whole thing just sounds like it was all done in like maybe a one-night sesh with plenty of acid in the bowl, you know what I'm saying? Or acid in the Kool-Aid, whatever you want to call it. This is a wild ass record. I mean, I've known about this for a long time, but I kind of recently jumped back into it maybe 3-4 years ago, and been meaning to pick a copy up because, but I'm kind of glad I waited because now they're a little more available. But yeah, man, this is full on demented Psych Ward 101, as I called it this morning on my Instagram post. This is wild stuff. So They obviously have a very Jimi Hendrix admiration with the guitar structures going on and lots of fuzz wah. But there's a lot of things going into this, like the production wise and on the technical level. Lots of, well, there's a few moments of like backward tape loops, lots of wicked delay effects. And the vocalist himself, I believe this is the vocalist, he is intoxicated on something potent for sure. It's wild, man. The whole thing is insane. It's kind of like open range, free form acid rock, hard rock, heavy psych. Sometimes they kind of mess with the dynamics too. Sometimes there's really quiet moments and then they kind of suddenly build up to something really frantic and lots of frenzy going on here. But yeah, from the opening track, Explosion, some of those guitar tones on this and just where it kind of goes with the drums pummeling away, it's like, whoa, where are we right now? And they do a cover of Crosstown Traffic, but it's so stoned, it's so blitzed out of their mind that they can't even do a cover justice. I mean, it's so sloppy, but in the best way. And that's why I love this. It's just total chaos, this record is, man. I love it. So finally glad to pick this reissue up, and hopefully this can kind of get a hard time to show that on here. It does come with a hype sticker though, based out of Lyon, France, around that region. But yeah, this is the only LP they produced. I think you could call this like a compilation basically. It's kind of what it is, but it doesn't really come off as one. But highly recommended if you're into that sort of world, man. This is some insane stuff from this time period. If I didn't mention already, 71 this came out. And that sounds about right. Recommended. Definitely the wildest of the bunch. And then I got 3 more here, and these are the 3 that I picked up from not my go-to shop, but another one down the road. And it's kind of a funny story with this one. So as long as I've known the shop, this record has always been in there, like 5+ years. And I never picked up on it. I mean, the price wasn't the greatest. I mean, it's kind of the average price, you could say, but I was like, I could find it for $5 maybe, and never happened. But I just finally bit the bullet and decided to pick this up. And it's just been sitting in the shop ever since. It's like one of those records nobody wants to pick up. This is Hamilton Streetcar. Now, I think I've showed this on the live stream. Maybe we talked about it when I was live one evening. There's 2 different universes with this band. You have to kind of put them in 2 different categories. There's this version of the group where they kind of got rebranded once they signed on to Dot. But before that, they were on Lee Hazelwood's label. And were kind of more known for that generally. You know, had some more garage psych roots. Invisible People, Confusion. They had one more. But once they, you know, kind of refurbished the band and it's basically a studio project with only one original member left, being the vocalist. And there's only one original track on here, so it's very much a kind of flawed studio effort. And I say flawed because there are things about this that don't really work. But from what I can tell when I listen to this and just the whole presentation of this, it's like they tried to make this into something, you know, grandiose or something epic about it, but it doesn't really pan out that way. You got a few people involved here. You got the guy from Apple Tree Theater on board, and they have one of his tracks on here, Brother Speed, which was a short little snippet on the Apple Tree Theater album, and they tried to make it as a single on here. It's okay. It's nothing great. Then they also bring back ICIM, which that track alone, it's a Buzz Clifford track, and different studios tried to put that song into different albums, like on Buzz Clifford's solo record, East Side Kids, Dry Dock County, I think it's called, and then this one. And I think some of them had released it as a single. I'm thinking to myself, why did they think this single was any good for being a hit? Because it's kind of a weird piece. It's kind of like progressive pop. It doesn't really work, in my opinion, to be like a commercial hit single. But there are some great tracks on here. Where Do I Go, I think, is my favorite on here. It's got some kind of spacey, loungy kind of vibes to it in like a pop psych way. And then Wouldn't It Be Nice to Have Wings and Fly, got some cool delay, kind of cosmic effects on there. But the more I listen to this, I think I might like it a little more than most, but generally this is kind of got a bad rep, and I totally understand why, so. Yeah, and that kind of funky font on their name looks kind of kitschy, but yeah, I picked this up, I think it was like 15 bucks, you know. Not the greatest price, but it had just sat in there for so long, I'm like, okay, I'll just grab it since I'm here, you know, but definitely worth checking out for a few of those tracks, even though it's definitely more kind of just a pop rock oriented thing. The psych meter is pretty mild on that one. But these next two, this one is a little bit of a disappointment as well, but I was happy to see it because I've been kind of looking for this one. And in the end, I think I got this mixed with another record. And this is a UK-based band. This is Glencoe. They may have had another record, I don't remember, but this came out in '72 on, I think it's associated with Epic Records. Let's see, Great Western Gramophone. I don't know any other records on that label. You know, looking at the cover, you know, first impression, you might think maybe we're going down some Notorious Bird Brother route. And it's not so much a country vibe on here, I would say. I'd say it's more kind of lumped in the progressive rock territory, but it's got a few like funky rhythm sections, but also kind of working with some piano rock, which in my opinion doesn't really flesh out too well. But on the positive tip, they are very good performers, but I must have got this mixed with something else. I think it's that record Santa Fe. I think that's the record. It's a really obscure, like, kind of country rock record. I guess the graphic kind of has like the same color scheme or something, but I was totally mixing the two up, and I'd seen, you know, a few people post this online as well, and just kind of caught my interest. But in the end, not crazy about it, but there are some good moments here. The opening track is probably the best for me, Airport. It's kind of up-tempo, you know, pre-jazz fusion-y. Nice guitar work and keyboard work. But overall, not really my bag. And I think it all makes sense because there is a connection to the band Forevermore from the UK, which is kind of progressive pop of sorts. And I've never been a big fan of them either. I got rid of their one record I had, their first one. So yeah, it's associated with Epic Records, but let me know what you guys think of this one. And psych flourishes are kind of non-existent on this, you know, at this point in '72, but yeah, like I said, good performers, just not necessarily what I was hoping for, I guess. But that's just me, you know. And then from the $4 section, I was really happy to spy this one. It doesn't have a sleeve with it, but, you know, I just kind of bought this just to share it. It's not like I was severely hunting it down, but finally found one. This is Rosebud. As you can tell, the cover's seen better days. It's got the little punch out, well, it's not punch out, but cut corner, the cut out. And this is on Reprise label. I don't know if there's a shot of it, but yeah, disc is okay, but yeah, it doesn't have a sleeve yet, the way I found it. And it's kind of slipping through the bottom there. Oh well. But if you guys know, the album Farewell Aldebaran on Straight Label, this has basically got the two members from there, the duo, Judy Henske and Jerry Esther. And this is like their next project here, and you can find this for super cheap, like $5, $10 I think on average. And this is like their next effort with another guy on board, Craig Dorge. I think Jerry Esther was almost ready for a divorce at this point. It's kind of ironic with that cover, right? And I think John Cedar, was he the drummer for the Doors? The Turtles? I believe so. Yeah, this has got some good tracks, but also a few stinkers as well. But the track Reno and Lorelei, and my favorite track, Lullaby 2, Summer Carol, kind of reminds me of something like Kurt Betcher, The Ballroom sort of sessions. It's really good. They tried doing a few commercial routes on here with Western Wisconsin, which I kind of like, but then the vocals kind of sound strange to me too, like could have had a little better padding on those or something, but otherwise, is this through straight? I never even realized that. It's kind of a straight production, I guess, too, which makes sense, but yeah, and a few session musicians. I think, yeah, Mike Deasy's involved in this too, session guy. So, worth checking out. It's basically like a Baroque pop, folk pop sort of thing. You know, pretty reminiscent, but yet kind of a different bag compared to their previous record. And this is the only one that they would do from '71 here. So check it out if you spot it for cheap. It doesn't really rock at all. It's just you know, kind of a subdued kind of effort, but I do love it. And then finally, the last one here, this 45. I don't think I've shown this yet, but I talked about it on the live stream as well. This is one I've been meaning to pick up. This is the Kingsman Children's Caretaker, being the A-side, but the B-side is where it's at. This A-side though was on their album Up and Away, but the B-side here, the Wolf of Manhattan, is a sunshine pop banger for sure. Really good, almost kind of UK inspired sunshine pop. Really good, really catchy chorus and whatnot. You can pick this up for super cheap yet, so it sounds really good. And yeah, I got some notes on here. Someone must have wrote it. Wrote some info on there about the personnel and whatnot. So glad to scoop that up. Give that track a shot online. Anyways, I thought maybe we'd offer maybe a new segment in my vinyl updates. I don't know what to call it yet, but I thought maybe we'd call it like something along the lines of Psych Me Out, where I just kind of grab behind me and see what we find and talk about it for maybe a minute. So I'm not looking, but let's see what's right here. Let's see what this one is. Well, what a pick. Massive Attack. Not psychedelic at all. Guess I wasn't prepared for that one, but yeah, Massive Attack. Of course, we all know this band, right? It's more like a trip hop collective out of Bristol. I just showed this last year, I think. Yeah, not too long ago. Probably, I don't know if it's my favorite by them, but certainly up there. They really, you can't go wrong with Massive Attack. Really love this one, and Mezzanine, it's the one I grew up on. But so far I just have Blue Lines, and this is a kind of a trip hop essential, of course. So, not a psychedelic pick, but maybe next week. We'll see what the next pick is. And of course I don't have the most diverse collection in the world. I mean, this is kind of the main stash back there, but still be fun to talk about some things. And I'm kind of working on my next video trip. Got the records pulled, and I think I got the songs picked out as well, so I'm gonna start on ripping those and hopefully shoot a little bit of footage this week, see how far I get. And then I think that's about it. So I do have one coming in the mail. I just ordered last night. It's a more ambient piece, kind of getting more into the ambient stuff again. And that's all she wrote for now. So take care, and we shall see you soon.